Good day. My name is Denise Appleby of Appleby Retirement Consulting, Inc. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation, Rollover Markets, Statistics, and Rollover Trends. We provide a long list of products and services for financial, tax, and legal professionals. If you have questions about our products and services, please do not hesitate to contact us. During this presentation, we'll cover several topics, including looking at some of the recent statistics for IRA rollovers, rollover trends, and include some information on how you can attract rollovers from employer plans. Equally as important, we'll look at some of the steps that you can take to help your clients avoid making mistakes with rollovers. One of the primary questions to consider when targeting rollovers is, where are the assets being held? While assets held in IRAs can be transferred or rolled over at any time, assets in qualified plans and 403Bs can be rolled over only if the participant experiences a triggering event. A triggering event is a milestone or milestones that must be attained in order for a participant to be eligible to make withdrawals from their retirement account. This report shows the assets held in different types of retirement accounts as of the end of the third quarter for 2012. For IRAs, assets totaled $5.3 trillion. For defined contribution plans, $5 trillion. Assets in government pension plans, $4.8 trillion. Assets in private sector defined benefit plans, $2.6 trillion, and $1.7 trillion in annuity reserves outside of retirement accounts. So while $4.9 trillion is available for immediate transfer or rollover, the availability of the rest depends on whether or not the account owner is eligible to make a withdrawal from the plan. And as you can see, that is the majority of the assets. When targeting retirement assets, rollovers from qualified plans is where the best opportunities lie. Consider that the lion's share of IRA balances source from rollover contributions. As is shown in this chart from a research study done by the ICI, of the amounts contributed to IRAs in 2008, $272 billion came from rollovers and only $13.4 billion came from IRA contributions. This trend has remained consistent over the years as is shown in the chart. Here we're looking at another study done by the ICI. This pie chart shows that of the individuals who own IRAs, 55% funded their IRAs with rollover contributions at some point. One of the obvious questions is, what do participants really want to do with the amounts that they withdraw from their qualified plan accounts? Well, this pie chart shows that 20% roll over some of their assets to IRAs, and an impressive 80% tend to roll over their entire qualified plan balances to IRAs. And in many cases, this is done because they want to continue preserving the tax-deferred status of their retirement accounts. So far, we have looked at past trends, and the question becomes, what does the future hold for rollovers? According to a recent Cerulli report, the IRA market will be at $7.3 trillion by 2016, with rollovers representing the largest component, totaling about $600 billion. Consider, too, that rollovers can now be made by non-spouse beneficiaries, which increases the opportunities for gathering assets through rollovers. As a financial advisor, a key question for you is, how do you get a reasonable share of rollovers? There are many opportunities for achieving such a goal, which includes checking local news media for companies that are closing. Many of these companies would appreciate having the expertise of a competent and knowledgeable financial professional who can help their employees determine when, and how to roll over their account balances. You may also contact human resources departments for firms in your area and offer to provide retirement planning services to their employees. You may also offer free seminars to companies and their employees. This will allow them to see you as the go-to expert when they have questions about rolling over their retirement accounts. You may also provide newsletters with information about retirement accounts, such as our IRA News and Tips newsletter, which is provided on a quarterly basis and includes time-sensitive information about IRAs and other retirement accounts. You can provide educational material and provide them with news and updates as they relate to retirement accounts. Once you have identified potential rollover opportunities, the next step is to determine if your clients and prospects are eligible to make withdrawals and roll over those amounts to you. The rules for when one becomes eligible to make a withdrawal varies among qualified plans. This means it is important to check the particular plan in question. Generally, triggering events include reaching retirement age and no longer working for the employer. If a prospect or client does not meet the plan's triggering events, check to see whether the plan allows in-service withdrawals. Bear in mind, though, that in-service withdrawals due to hardship are not rollover eligible. And of course, you want to assist with the rollover process to ensure that the right choices are made and mistakes are avoided. To help ensure rollover mistakes are avoided, check the paperwork that your client completes to ensure that funds are moved as a direct rollover. Amounts that are moved as indirect rollover may be subject to a 20% federal income tax withholding and in some cases state tax withholding as well. Also, indirect rollovers are subject to a 60-day limit which does not apply to direct rollovers. Ensure that only eligible amounts are rolled over to the IRA. Ineligible rollovers can result in double taxation and excise penalties being owed to the IRS. A common mistake is to roll over employer stocks when it would have been more tax efficient if these amounts were not rolled over. To prevent this from happening to your client, check for employer stocks, and if there are any, check to see whether or not those stocks have significant net unrealized appreciation. Also, remind clients to update their beneficiary designations for accounts established to receive these rollovers. Some incorrectly assume that beneficiary designations carry over from one retirement account to the other, and as we know, that is not the case. Thank you for listening to this presentation. We welcome your feedback. Please feel free to contact us for your technical consulting needs for IRAs and employer plans, client newsletters to share with clients and prospects on IRAs, newsletters for networking with professionals such as accountants and attorneys, content for your website, your IRA training needs, and more. Our thanks to Spinsworth for sponsoring this presentation. Please take some time to visit their website. When contacting us, please feel free to use any one of these options that are available. Thanks again.